Morning guys, we're just out and about in Cultybraggan today, and where are we? We're at Cultybraggan Prisoner of War Camp, Camp 21. How cool is this place? Look at this. So this was a prisoner of war camp in World War II?
I think so, yeah, World War II it says. And there are over 100 Nissan huts with other structures, and this place is huge.
So we're going to get a chance to walk through some of these huts here, and just when we come in, the main entrance is just here, but it was shut, and you just walk down through the gates here and to your right hand side, that's where you actually get all your stuff.
So we got a map and a little visitor book, and then we also get to pick up a cartoon, but we're going to do that on our way out and we'll show you that. I'm very excited. It's very cold, but I'm very excited. Here's
just some information about the camp's construction. It says here it was built in 1941 and 1942, and it was part of the labour camps for Italian internees and prisoners. So we're just going to head down the heritage trail here, which I think is like the main walkway, the main road basically in the camp, and as you can see all the buildings on the left hand side there. Now, do you not think this looks like something out of Dog Soldiers? It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
It's really spooky, see, because I don't know if you can see like how foggy it actually is over certain parts.
I mean, literally when we came in here we couldn't see the road, it was that foggy. But I'm going to show you a wee closer look at this. Imagine you were a prisoner here, or this is where you were stationed, because I think when we looked up it actually turned into an army base. I don't know if you can see inside. Nah, we can't really see.
They're not very big.
No, they aren't very big, are they? This is just showing you the layout inside them. We're just going to have a wee look inside this one here. Oh, this isn't nice, is it? No. Imagine you like, this is your bedroom basically.
It's a pure weird smell in here.
Nah, it's old, musty. You know, like it smells like your grand's house. Look at the nick of these curtains. I mean, just check that. Look at the pattern on them. Oh, this is crazy.
It says here there's murder at Camp 21. There was someone called Wolfgang Rosterg who was murdered in the camp by his fellow Germans on December 23rd, suspected of betraying the Nazi cause. Pretty sure he's probably not the only person who's died here though.
Just wanted to try and give you a wee perspective of the size of it. So away up there is where we started. We've come down this bit here, and this wee bit just in front of us, and then it goes all the way around there as well. It's pretty big. I think it goes even further back there, and we'll have a wee look in a wee second. And there's also just a lot of wee like bunker type things here as well. So Natalie was telling you at the start that we get a cartoon. This is one of the cartoons we get, or the types of cartoons, sorry, that we get to choose from. And also here it's just saying about behind the wire, behind the concrete buildings in front of you lie the 4 prison compounds. They were separated by barbed wire, and after spring of 1945 guard towers were built to keep watch over the boundaries. Right, we're just about to head in and see what it's like. This is jails. Oh, this is eerie feeling, man. So this is us just going to head into the jails. Well, there's definitely going to be some ghosts. Feels like an old school.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. It's one of the old cells. Oh my god. Look at this. It's in one of the old cells. Cell 11. So this is what it would feel like to be in jail.
It's like entry, yeah.
It is a wee bit. I dare say they never had a radiator back in the day.
How many people do you think were in here?
I'm not too sure, let's see if we can find out. So the accommodation that we took you into earlier, it says here up to 90 men shared an accommodation hut and slept in bunks. A sleeping bag and a blanket each was provided to keep the prisoners warm. Just 2 stoves provided heating and would have been woefully inadequate in the depths of Scottish winter. I mean, imagine that. 90 people. That is ridiculous. Here's some of the toilet facilities as well, showers. There's very little privacy for the prisoners, even in the toilets and the showers. So we've just got a table here of letters sent by former prisoners of war. That is pretty cool. There's bits here where it actually transcribes what it says. That's cool. And then we've got like these pictures that Natalie was telling you about. We get to pick one of these at the start, just basically by an artist showing you what it was like to stay in the prisoner of war camp. And obviously this one here, 90 people stayed in there. There they are there, playing the snowman. Just a wee bit of fun. Obviously they see a wee pretty lady who looks a wee bit like Wonder Woman. Just their nightly entertainment.
Getting some English lessons.
So they are. I like these pictures a lot. Here's Popeye. Let's have a wee look and see who we've got in prison today. Hello Natalie.
Hello. Can I come out?
No, you've got to stay in there with 90 other people. Bye.
Bye.
Here's just some aerial views of the camp. Now that one's like quite zoomed out, and I zoom in another wee bit, and then that's like mega zoomed as I would call it.
I'm just reading about ghosts at Cultybraggan. Apparently in 1973 someone tried to perform an exorcism and there was like 3 padres. Because this place, after it was a prisoner of war camp, like more recently, was an army base. And people are saying how you hear footsteps and you feel like you're being followed and that kind of thing. Quite weird.
So just in there when I was telling you that there's 90 people to the accommodation, this is the wee huts that they got 90 people in. Here's their accommodation just in front of us, and these fields here are their playing fields. And it's saying here in this sign that in the playing fields the prisoners of war used to play football against each other, and then after the war the prisoners of war camps played against each other. So this prisoner of war camp would play against another prisoner of war camp. That is crazy. According to one former prisoner, teams from the camp travelled as far as Helensburgh to play matches. Right, so I know I said these wee small ones here were the ones that had the 90 people in it, but it actually wasn't. It's these ones here that are slightly larger, but they're still not very big for 90 people, are they, Natalie?
Look at the size of these bunk beds.
I know. Right, go stand next to it so they can see the size of them. Look at the size of that. I mean, they're tiny.
Probably fit a little person like me. There's a little bird's nest up there as well.
Oh aye, wee birdie camping out in here. So, this is basically where they would all stay. That's crazy. So it says here, at its peak, at the end of 1944, there was nearly 4,000 prisoners at the camp, divided into 4 compounds. In each compound there were 12 100-foot long accommodation huts which housed up to 90 men. And here's an actual picture of how it looked back in the day. Like Natalie was just saying a wee second ago there, here's the stove, and they only had 2 of these in here to try and keep you warm. To keep this whole place warm. And that is ridiculous.
It's actually freezing here, it's not that cold outside, so imagine like the dead of December.
I know. And then the other bit was saying that there's mice and stuff all running about it. So here you go, if you were in the army as well, this is what it was going to be like for you. So there's your bed, maybe your locker. You don't get much in that, you don't get your PlayStation or anything in that. Here's their drawers. I remember my grandpa actually having drawers similar to this. This is crazy. Another stove to try and keep you warm. Just going to show you how low you are to the ground if you were on one of these bottom bunks. How's that feel, Natalie? Comfy?
Not at all.
It doesn't look very comfy.
Imagine there was someone lying on top of you.
This is the view that I would get looking down on you. Hey Nats, how's your night been?
Did their mattresses away?
okay, but then I'd come down the side bit like this.
It'd be all, it's cold, there's mace and spiders and I don't like it.
But we're playing the Helensburgh football team tomorrow. So the bit at the back that we showed you was the MOD training camp, and here it is here actually in use. He said by 1948 all the prisoners of war had left Cultybraggan and it became a training camp for the MOD.
You're having a really good time.
That's terrible, Natalie. I think Natalie's just going to go for a wee shot on the swing. Be the big kid that she is. No, no break.
A bit wet.
Going to get a wet bum, but
It's alright.
let me push you.
No, don't, it's scary.
Just wait, I'll push you.
I don't want you to push me. And then the tree breaks. I don't think it's made for big people.
So this block here was the female showers. I don't think we can get in here, but doesn't look a pretty place to have a shower. And what we were learning from some of the pictures was they had like one pipe running down the middle, and right in the centre of the pipe is where the water would come out for your shower, so you had to all crowd round this one sprinkling of water basically for your shower. And here's just a poor wee guy that never made it. He's obviously fell down. So we've got this bit here, which is a Cold War bunker. Don't think we can get in there, but there it is there. Massive big bunker. Do these wee tractors remind you of the cows from Cars? Look, there's a wee baby, what is that? There's a wee baby one, and here's the mummy one. It looks like some of the huts are actually getting used for things, so this one's getting used for pottery. And right now it's actually closed. See if we look inside, I don't think we can actually see through there. You can see just in the distance there that there's some of their pottery. That's actually a pretty cool idea of reusing them. So we've got this weird building here that is the respiratory test chamber. Oh, it looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Natalie was just saying this is where they would come and would fill it with gas, and then you would come in and test your gas mask and make sure it was okay. I mean, it doesn't sound very good to me, and I dare say there's going to be quite a few wee ghosts in there. What do you think, Natalie? Ghosts in there?
Definitely. What happens if your gas mask doesn't work?
Well, that's what I was just saying. You're going to die, aren't you? That's why there's going to be ghosts. This is just telling you a wee bit about that chamber we just showed you, and it says here that they had to perform various tasks in their cumbersome equipment on. They were also given exposure to CS gas, so they understood how it could affect those on the receiving end. That's crazy. So they would just expose you to the gas. So for some strange reason, in the Cold War bunker, they had a BBC radio station, or studio, sorry. It's just telling you here that the camp was occupied by the MOD between 1948 and 2004, and it's saying that little was done to upgrade the facilities at the camp, and conditions were pretty basic and tough. As a result, the camp acquired numerous nicknames, of which Cold and Boggin seemed to be a particular favourite. I mean, we've been in some of these things here, and if these weren't upgraded, to think that people were living in them in 2004 in the conditions, that's ridiculous. It's saying here the large construction you see in front of you is a 25 metre small arms range used from its construction in 1960 until 2004 when the camp was decommissioned by the MOD. So this big building here is where they'd come and they would shoot other guns, get target practice and stuff. And also there's a pretty cool wee bit here, says targets were fixed into a turning mechanism which was operated manually from behind the shooting positions. Behind the targets, the recessed area in the large wall was filled with sand to catch the bullets after passing through the targets. The sand was then sifted to collect the used bullets. A close look at the woodwork above and around the targets suggests that not everyone was a crack marksman. That's pretty funny. And then there's just a wee story here as well from a cadet's life at camp. It was the first time that I'd been away from home without family. We travelled by train and marched to camp. They marched to the camp? I mean, I don't know how close the train station is, but that's crazy. We were assigned to our huts. The beds were equipped with straw-filled mattresses and straw-filled pillows. Straw-filled mattresses and pillows. Memory foam for me or nothing. The material covering these choice articles was stained and holed, and naturally the straw poked through. Heaven knows what wildlife they harboured. There were rough blankets, no sheets or pillowcases. The huts were heated by wood stoves, and it was cold during the night, even in July. I mean, I definitely wouldn't like to stay here. Imagine staying in the wee huts right now. It's quite chilly outside here now, but the night it would be absolutely freezing if there's no heating. We're just heading into the shooting range. Look at the size of that big building. I mean, when I say a building, I don't know if we can actually get inside it or if it's just on the outside here. We'll head down and we'll see. Oh right, aye, so we don't go inside it. So basically this is your shooting range, as Natalie was just pointing out. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but look at all the bullet holes up there. All the wall is just broke away from the bullet holes. See if we can get a wee bit closer to see. You maybe see some of these ones up the top, actual holes from the bullets. That's pretty cool. And then all this just broke away. I think looking at it, these bolts here and these bolts here was maybe where the targets were. Yeah, I think it was, because you can see the wood just where Natalie is standing there now. The wood round where the targets would have been, right there up the top. That's pretty crazy. And then somebody's built these pretty weird bench, isn't it? That's pretty strange. And then is this like offerings to the ghosts that are here or something? It's a wee bit random, isn't it? That's like a pagan ritual or something's going on here.
Oh goodness.
And they've got like, they built themselves a wee garden. But here's the mechanism actually. You can see for where they would turn the targets manually. So that must have ran all the way up there. Actually, you can see it just here at the end. I'll take you up and just show you it. And some bullet holes here as well. But here's actually where the targets must have been.
Chris is just off to see if he can turn these at the mechanism. Oh my goodness, and it's working. Look at that. So someone would stand where Chris is just now, turning them, and then there'd be little people here and they'd get moved.
There's some cool community allotments just here as well. I think just people in like the wee towns that are just close by can come and get a wee allotment, I think, and then somebody comes here and gets a bath.
I hope that's not what happened. I hope they're collecting rainwater so
For a bath?
Grow plants. But I mean, it's a pretty rural area. You have plenty of gardens, I would say. But maybe it's like a community hangout sort of thing.
I think it is, to bring your communities together. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Especially when all the apples are growing, you can come and buy them here.
Aye, that's what it was saying up there on that wee bit. I think you can come and buy them here. Looks pretty cool, some people eating them.
Some toffee apples.
Somebody growing them here. The community come down, have a wee picnic and all that, have their lunch. This is actually pretty cool. This is all the apples and that are been grown. And then it looks like we've got some chickens and that here as well. Some chickens. Are these ducks? Okay, well they've got some ducks here. Because one of the allotments back there says that you can actually buy duck eggs.
What size is that duck?
That's a big duck. I think if we go down here, the ducks are not locked up, by the way. We're just about to chase some ducks. Only kidding, we're not going to chase them, we're just going to see if we can get them on camera.
I think they're actually genuinely just winding these two up.
I mean, look at the size of these ducks. That one in the cage is huge. But look, here's some ducks here just on a loose. Quite a lot of them actually. So guys, if you see any red flags, let us know, because There's going to be firing in progress.
That's scary, especially with you behind the gun.
I'm not the one going to have the gun, I've got the camera.
Well, you're the shooter. You're shooting with the camera.
Well, so we've just got a wee mini obstacle course going on here. I mean, none of the chains or anything are up, so I don't know exactly what you would do, but I don't think I would do very good on it. Here's that murder that Natalie was talking about. It says, in front of you where the grass field is today stood Compound B. This compound contained German officers and non-commissioned officers considered to be die-hard Nazis. To the right, where the large green building now stands, were the accommodation blocks. It was in one of these huts that the infamous murder of Wolfgang was carried out by his compatriots on the 23rd of December 1944. Poor wee guy get killed by his fellow prisoner of war. That's not very nice, is it?
I thought he was a Nazi spy.
And then it says here as well, escape tunnels. So they thought there was some escape tunnels here as well. There was believed to have 3 attempted tunnels.
2017, like some archaeology people from Glasgow University had a wee survey of it, and Tom, Dick and Harry as the 3 tunnels have been known, so that's quite fun. So here we have camp and the community. So now in modern day they use the area in the camp for the community. Like they've got some escape rooms and a flower show, and it's won 7 awards and prizes for their Britain in Bloom, which is pretty cool. The little allotment we just showed you, so that'll be why they're all here. Also, we pointed out the pottery earlier, but there are also a few other things here open for business. So there's cheesemakers, caterers, bakers, and even a pole dancing class. So there's apparently about 50 businesses here, like some of them employ local people, so that's quite a good way of repurposing it.
So Natalie, what picture did we end up taking?
I took this wee one because I liked him with his wee bagpipes and the wee sheep.
He's a cracker, isn't he?
He's cute, isn't he?
Right guys, that's us just finished at Cultybraggan, and it was actually pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not really what I expected, but I really enjoyed it. It would probably be better if it was warmer because it's pretty much all outside.
Aye, it is a wee bit chilly, but it's good. What did we pay? I think we get a voucher, but usually it's £8 to come in, opens at 10 o'clock, and it took us about an hour or so to come round.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
I think as well, if we were to come in the summer, some of the local businesses would be open and we'd be able to go in and have a wee look at them and maybe pick something up, but there was nothing really open today, was there?
No, I think it's kind of out of season as well because it's the end of February, so...
Yeah. Right, so that's us. Bye bye.